Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle, Quilting and Crafts. Forgive my voice. I just woke up. These are the first words that I've spoken today. Well, not just woke up. I've been awake. Well, they're not the first words I've spoken today. I did speak a few words, but I have not spoken much today. And this is how my voice sounds in the morning. So, this is a Thankful Thursday video, but it's Sunday. I did not film a video on Thursday because my mic wasn't working for some reason. Like it wasn't, I was talking and it wasn't registering that any sound was being picked up. And I did some troubleshooting. I wasn't able to figure it out on Thursday, but I did figure it out Friday morning. So I did make a video Friday morning, except I never uploaded it. I don't know why, but I never uploaded it. I don't know why. So it just seems stupid to upload it now on Sunday because in the video I talk about how it's Friday, and so it just seems stupid. So I'm just going to redo it now. All right, so I was actually busy last week. I don't know what I was busy doing, but I did not sew a lot last week. And so I did not do any sew sampler blocks. I'm really having difficulty. The last block was so traumatic. It took me like 2.5 hours to do one block. And I know I looked at the other blocks and I see that they're not as detailed, at least the upcoming ones. But after doing that, I just have not been able to motivate myself to do another block. I haven't. So I know that the next box is on the way. I think I don't know if it's already in the mail or they're about to mail it. So I'm just going to hold off. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to hold off until the next box comes. And then I'll just choose a day and deal with it. Because I'm too far along to let it go into the land of whips. So I'm going to deal with that. My sew-alongs are coming along. Like I said, I am behind. Last week, we were supposed to put all of our rows together. I got the rows put together for one of the quilts, but not the second quilt. So week 4 started on Saturday. So this week, we're supposed to be putting the rows together and then putting into quadrants and then sewing our quadrants together for a full quilt top. That's what we're supposed to be doing. I'm not there. I have a lot to get done. So I did sew one quadrant together to kind of give you an idea what it looks like. It's another reason why I'm going to refilm it, because at the time, on Friday when I filmed, I had not put the quadrant together. And once the quadrant comes together, you can kind of see the plaid effect that the quilt has. All right, so this is how we're looking. Let me back it up a little more. Okay. So for the blue colorway, I have all of my rows done. I just need to sew the rows together into a quadrant and then sew the 4 quadrants together. For the pink and green quilt, I need to sew the rows together. I need to make my rows, sew my units into rows, which I'm working on. I'm working on row 1 right now. And that's I'm loving this about this quilt, because when you sew row 1 together, well, this isn't the full row 1, but it just looks like a bunch of stripes. It looks like nothing. But then when you put it together with the other rows, that's when the magic happens. And I am loving this quilt. I would not be surprised if I made this again in the future. I mean, it's going to be a long time in the future. But this is a great quilt for the men in your life, or it could be, because you can really make this masculine by just changing the colors. And Brittany has some great, well, I won't get into the pattern right now. I mean, anyway, I love this pattern. It's called Upscale Plaid. And I just think you can do so many things with it, because it's just not, and if you wanted to use prints, you could, but I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. But I think it might look great with some blenders. I think that might look really good. Prints could work, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to spend a week sewing a quilt just to see what it's going to look like. I don't know. But you might be able to play with it in pre-quilt, like software, and maybe put some stuff in there and some prints in there and see how they go. I don't know. So yeah, I still have to work on that. My leader ender project is coming along. It's not going to be completed when I'm done with the quilts. It's not going to be done because the way that I chain piece, I don't always have to use the leader enders. So I'll definitely be done with this first stack that I was sewing together, my prints in my background. I'll be done with this because there's only a few left of these, and I'll get them pressed open. But there's basically 80 of these and 80 of these that you sew together. So I'll be done with that. And then there's also the other one is it's going to make a similar block, except the print piece is longer and the solid piece is smaller. And I'll have to piece 80 of those units together, open those, or press those open. And then once those are pressed open, then I have to start assembling the blocks. So this will not be done. And I'm just going to keep it as a leader ender project and work on it throughout the year, unless I somehow feel inspired to do something else. I don't know. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on these quilts. QuiltCon is next week. I will be at QuiltCon. If anyone else is going to be at QuiltCon, let me know. I'm super excited. It's going to be my very first QuiltCon. Last year was in Atlanta, and I was going to go, but last year I had a lot of stuff going on with, like, financial wise. I had, like, massive issues with my septic system. I had to replace my septic pump. I had to replace my water heater. Y'all know about my car. My car got totaled twice. So, and I had to buy a new car. So I'm glad I didn't go because it would have really left me in a bad position. If I had gone to QuiltCon in Atlanta, I would have used up a lot of money, and that would have left me in a bad position or a worse position when all that other stuff started to happen. So I didn't make it last year, but this year it's in my city, or the city I used to live in, Raleigh. I now live in Clayton, which is 10 minutes away. But to get to the where we're going is probably like a 35 minute ride for me or something like that. It's not far from my job. It's literally around the corner. From QuiltCon is around the corner from where I used to work. Technically where I still work. It's just right now I'm working from home and not going into the office. If I was going into the office, literally my office is around the corner from where QuiltCon is being held. We used to go, anyway, I don't need to talk about work. So I'm really looking forward to that. I am really looking forward to that. I don't even really know what to expect. So I think on day one, I'm not going to bring much money because I don't want to, like, I don't have a massive budget to spend on stuff, you know? I just don't. And so I don't want to spend a bunch of money on day one and not have any money on day 4. So I don't know what to expect, and I don't want to get, like, overwhelmed and just do too much on day 1. I don't know. But I'm excited. Let me know in the comments if you're going. Maybe we can like get together and like have some dinner or something. That would be fun. That would be really fun. For my crochet, I'm still working on my cardigan. I did finally start my sleeve number 2. I had procrastinated that sleeve because I did not enjoy the sleeve portion. The main sweater portion, I enjoyed making that. Working the turned rounds for the sleeve, I did not enjoy. So I procrastinated starting that. I have finally started it. I'm 5 rows in. I'm not really concerned about it right now because I'm really just kind of working on these upscale plaid quilts. Because once those 2 quilts are done, I'm not starting any other new quilts until March, because that's when the Stripology virtual retreat is in March. And we're piecing like 3 quilts for that 4-day or 3-day virtual retreat. And so I don't want to start anything else when I know I'm going to be starting quilts then. So once these upscale plaid quilts are done, and I'm really going to push to try to have these done It's a challenge to myself. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I want to see if I can get these done by Friday, because that would be the deadline. That would be when everything's supposed to be done. If I can have both these puppies done by Friday. I know one of them will be done. One of them is a given. I can get one done without question. Can I get both done? So I'm going to try. And then in that period between when those are done and the retreat, I'll probably do more crocheting and work on some whips, maybe, you know, that type of thing. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but that's what I'm thinking about. I do want to say I am doing a live today from 2 to 5 Eastern Standard Time with Denise over at Lily Pop Love. I'll put a link to her channel in the description. It is going to be on my channel, but you can, I think next time we'll do it on her channel. But it's going to be a good time. Denise has way more personality than I do. She is a friggin' riot, okay? I am an introvert. He is not an introvert. I am quiet. I'm pretty quiet. I'm a really quiet, introverted person. She is not that. She's going to do really well on this platform because her personality really just jumps through the screen. It really does. I like watching her. And I'll also put a link to the live. Maybe. I don't know. I was testing it out yesterday and I set up a live, but then when I went live, the link that went live was not the link they told me was going to be the live link. So I don't know. It's going to be on my channel. So if you just come to the channel, you'll see it. I don't know. I did finally decide to put a friggin' border on. I finally made the decision. The border is not complete, but I made the decision to put the border on it. So if y'all remember this one, I could not decide, but I had some scrap yarn and that was left over from making this middle section here. I had some scrap yarn, and so I decided to just test it out. And I like it. I like it. I think it's because I'm a quilter and it reminds me of binding. And so I'm not gonna do a large, thick border. It's just gonna be this one row. I'm only doing one row. That's it. And it just kind of reminds me of a frame just to have that binding. I don't think that I would like it if it was thicker. So if I did like 2 or 3 rows, I don't think that I would like that. But I am liking just the narrow border. So I am going to do that. And that's not going to take long. That's not going to take long. I am trying to figure out what I want to crochet after my cardigan. I'm also trying to find like another, because I kind of liked having a longer term project and a shorter term project for my crochet. I liked that as a concept. The short-term project was the blanket. That went really quickly. And when I finally do sit down and put this edging on, that's going to go really quickly as well. So, and the longer term project is the cardigan. So once I'm done with this edging, then I'm going to need another short-term project, and I don't know what that's going to be. I still have to figure that out. But I do know what my next long-term project might be. I was on the Furls website, and they had a blanket called the middle finger blanket. It was I don't remember who actually wrote the pattern, but they collabed with Mr. Domestic on this project. And the project used the Larks Foot stitch. Do I not have that down here? Maybe I don't. Oh, here it goes. The Larks Foot stitch. And the Larks Foot stitch can sometimes look like someone's giving you the middle finger. That's not really evident in this picture. It's not really clear in this picture, but you can kind of see, I guess you can kind of see in This one. And maybe a little bit in that one. I don't know. But anyway, I had saw that and I wanted to make that quilt, but I did not want to pay for the pattern. And when I looked at that stitch, people did it in different ways. It wasn't like the same exact way or the same exact count. I think the one that Furls did, they used a foundation crochet. I mean, a foundation single crochet or whatever, or double crochet, or I can't remember. But they did a foundation chain. Instead of just doing a chain and then stitching into the chain, they did a foundation crochet. And so the stitch count was different. And initially they said that the pattern was going to be available free on the website, but they lied because it's not. And I don't know if it was popular, so they just decided not to make it free. But the only way you could get the stinking pattern, what I found, was if you bought the kit, which I was not finna do. Because why? I've already got too much yarn. I don't need to do that. So I need to use the yarn that I have. So I'm going to do a couple of test rows to see if I like the pattern and to see if the yarn that I have will work for it in the way that I would like it to. This was a free pattern. I was watching Elise over at, I forgot the name of her channel, Elise Rose Crochet. I can't remember. But I was watching her channel and she was talking about some mindless projects that she likes to have as a palette cleanser after working on something for a really long time. And this was one of the ones that she liked and recommended. And when she said Larks Foot, I was like, wait a minute. That's the middle finger stitch. I've been wanting to do that. So, I do want to test that out and see how that's going to work for me. We shall see. And I did find a pattern to use for, you remember we got those patriotic fat quarters in the open gate. I need to clean up. I did clean up, but I need to clean up again. We got those patriotic fat quarters in the Open Gate Quilt subscription box, and I was saying I wanted to make a table runner and use it for my 4th of July party. Well, I mean, I've been watching Monique for a long time. I've been a fan of her work for a long time. I like her simple pattern designs, like basic construction that makes something like great, very clean. It's all very clean. I like it. I like clean. And so I had taken a craftsy class that she did, and it came with some patterns. It's either that or I bought one of her books. I can't remember. But I had the book. I don't know if it came with the class or if I bought it separately. It's been a long time. But there was a pattern in there called King's Corner. And I think these little blocks will be perfect right there. I've got 4 fat quarters and there are 4 blocks. I can go with a scrappy background or use the same background, which is probably what I'll do. I'll just use the same background to make my cutting easier. And I will use this and this to make my table runner. So that is something that I'm going to work on. That'll be after I'm done with Upscale Plaid. This might be something that I choose to do since it's such a small project. This might be something that I choose to do in between finishing the plaid quilts and starting the stripology retreat. Maybe. But I will definitely get the fabrics pressed and cut and ready to sew. I've already written down everything, all my math, what I need, because these cutting instructions are made for making 20 blocks and I'm making 4. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't cut too much fabric. So I wanted to do that math and break that down, which I have done. So I don't know that I'll sew this after I'm done with the plaid quilts, but before the stripology retreat starts, but I'll at least get my fabrics pressed and cut. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll at least have 3 hours of sewing today from 2 to 5. So that's going to be fun. With Denise, so I'll at least get to sew during that time. Other than that, I don't know that I'll do much sewing today. I'll probably do some chores. Tomorrow is a holiday for me. We don't have work because it is President's Day. So I'll probably do a little bit of sewing today and then chores. And then tomorrow I will probably just have like an all day sew day. I'll probably not all day. I have some things to do. But most of the day, sew day. At least get me, a good 5 hours in just sewing. So that'll be fun. And I think that's it. That's it for me. And I'll see you guys next video.